What's going on, everyone? So one of my big concerns that I've highlighted and expressed with the current starting five, Dlo, Reaves, Rui, LeBron, and AD, is the defense. Right? Offensively, they've been second in the league. They have been just gangbusters in that regard. The offense is really clicking with those five. You're talking about your five best offensive players on the court. You got Dlo shooting the lights out every game. Rui Hachimura shooting like 40% from three-point range this season. Austin Reaves' three-point shots really starting to come around. Obviously, LeBron James and Anthony Davis are LeBron James and Anthony Davis. But my concern is the defensive side because you don't really have any athleticism out there on the perimeter. Rui is not the most athletic guy. Austin Reaves, D'Angelo Russell, like those are three guys that you don't really, equate to, oh, these guys are defensive stoppers or, just these great athletic players. And you've seen several struggles, one on the defensive side, but also with the rebounding, right? Because a lot of the offensive rebounds that the Lakers are giving up are long ball rebounds in which other teams are just beating the Lakers to the ball, right? Because again, you don't have any athleticism, any real foot speed in that regard that could just track down the basketball, chase it down, and secure it. So I had my concerns of, yes, could you get away with this in the regular season? I think so, sure. I mean, so far it's been pretty good. Now, granted, there are still some questions, right? One, you look at like the Phoenix Suns game. You had two elite scorers, and guess what? The Lakers couldn't keep them contained. They were just wheeling and dealing and scoring where need be, targeting Reaves, targeting Rui. And then you saw, obviously, in the Denver game, a lot of the same stuff. Michael Porter Jr. shooting, going 10 for 10. You had Jamal Murray just basically getting whatever he wanted, especially late in the game, targeting Reaves, targeting Rui, targeting whoever was on the court. And these are just problems that once you get into the postseason, are you going to be able to contain some of these guys? Right? Are you going to be able to contain the Denver Nuggets, the Los Angeles Clippers, the Phoenix Suns, these teams that have multiple scorers out on the perimeter that, one, Austin Reaves is already a target. Well, Rui is another target. Well, you saw like in the Clipper game when the Lakers came back, LeBron shifted over to the three. You even saw that a bit in the Denver game, and you've seen that toward to like kind of end games. LeBron's kind of more out on the perimeter, defending more out on the perimeter. LeBron's bought in a lot more out on defending out in the perimeter. That I talked about before that even happened of like, hey, one way that you could fix this and correct it is Rui shifts to the four, LeBron goes to the three to close games, and Darvin Ham has made that adjustment, or maybe it was LeBron, whomever. But the reason I'm bringing this up and talking about it again is because the Lakers did an excellent job yesterday with the starters on just containing and defending the Oklahoma City Thunder, right? Especially SGA. And Reaves and Rui both were great in just all facets yesterday. Rui not so much on the offensive side of things, but he was solid out there, but more so Reaves. Reaves really did an excellent job of just containing and holding his own on the defensive side. You also add in D'Angelo Russell, who again was spectacular. He was excellent on both sides of the ball. I mean, he even had 4 steals. But you saw that, hey, like, they're not elite defensively. But what have I always talked about, right? If you're familiar with this channel, you're familiar with me, I always say we don't need them to be elite. We just need them to be serviceable. Can you just be serviceable enough to not get torched every possession on the defensive side? Your offense is good enough to where you're going to win games just naturally on the offense, but in those push come to shove games or early on, can you get key stops? Can you slow guys down enough to where you can kind of make that separation pull ahead and then end up closing games out? And the Lakers did an excellent job with that against OKC. We saw some of that, against like the Clippers, right? Where, Reaves and Dlo and guys were holding their own against James Harden, right? LeBron was locking down Kawhi Leonard. So he was like, look, I got Kawhi. You guys just need to slow down these other guys. And the Lakers locked in, bought in, and were able to do that. The concern is, can they consistently do that on a nightly basis? Can they do what they did to OKC on a regular basis? Again, they held SGA to only 20 points, which, some people might think like 20 points, like that's still 20 points. Yeah, but this is a guy that's like 30 a game and only to 13 shots. He was 5 of 13 from the field. That is huge. They also had him commit 4 turnovers and held him to a -9, right? Like the Lakers did their job against SGA and Oklahoma City. Here's the sort of caveat, right? Like how much of it was, the Lakers all of a sudden kind of found that groove on the defensive side of things, and how much of it was just OKC isn't a good matchup, right? Like the Lakers are just really a terrible matchup for OKC. Like OKC does not want to play the Lakers in any type of playoff situation, right? Which very well could be the case. I mean, OKC is in that 1-3 range, and the Lakers are anywhere from that, they could finish 9th or 10th, but the way that they're playing right now, you got to imagine that they get somewhere in that 6 to 8 range minimum, right? So if they can get that, then it's very possible that the Lakers and OKC match up in the first round, and this kind of feels like, almost like a Memphis situation, where Memphis was the 2 seed, but it's the Lakers' experience, the Lakers' size, the way that they can play, probably gonna lead to a Lakers series victory, and ultimately that's what happened. It's kind of how I feel about OKC. This is kind of that Memphis situation, right? It's just a bad matchup. The Oklahoma City Thunder could probably beat most teams in the Western Conference, but the Lakers they have their number, right? But you see that all the time. Denver has the Lakers number. So my thing is as we move forward, right? We got Sacramento coming up, right? Sacramento is going to be a huge game. Can Dlo and Reaves, again, be serviceable enough to hold their own against a De'Aaron Fox, a Malik Monk, right? 2 guys that can absolutely just go off and give you 40, right? Are they going to be able to stay in front of these guys? Again, we don't necessarily need these guys to be elite. We just need them to be serviceable enough. Just slide your feet, stay in front of the guy, right? Challenge shots, make things difficult, right? D'Lo's actually been very good all season. He's not elite. He's not great. He's not like this ball stop. He's nothing like that. But what he is he's a 6'4", 6'5", 6'10" wingspan type guard that can defend and use his wingspan and his length to kind of help him in that defensive regard. And he's been serviceable. He's been very good this year. He's having the best defensive season of his career, right? Can Austin Reaves replicate that? Because teams, again, are seeing Austin Reaves as free range, right? Teams are looking at Austin Reaves and licking their chops and going, oh, here we go, right? And they're targeting him and they're going after him on a regular basis. And he is having to deal with those challenges, but can he just, 3 out of 5 possessions get a stop rather than, 4 out of 5 or whatever, right? Again, can you just be serviceable enough to allow your offense to do what they do? Austin Reaves obviously has to continue to perform on the offensive side. Same thing with D'Lo, which D'Lo has been just spectacular this season. He's having the best season period of his career. But on top of that, we need our guards to kind of offset some of that stuff, right? I would love some athleticism. I'd love some just defense and point of attack and a guy that could chase down loose balls and stuff. That would be nice, but right now we don't have that. So we got what we got. Let's stick with what we got, and let's trust that these guys can figure it out, right? I loved the swarming defense. I loved how we defended against the Thunder. I also love how we rebound against the Thunder, right? But I need to see it more regularly, right? I mean, the Lakers out-rebound the Oklahoma City Thunder 55-38, and part of that was, OKC missed a bunch of shots. They were only 15 of 39 from three-point range and 37 of 94 from two-point range. So they were only 38 and 39%. But also part of it was offensive rebound. We got 12 offensive rebounds. But how much of that is the size advantage and the mismatches compared to oh no, we actually have kind of figured it out, right? We put ourselves in position to be better defensively, as well as, position ourselves to rebound better and things like that. We're going to see. Again, Sacramento, they've another team that's kind of had our number, right? Especially like Sabonis. AD's got to show up and show out against Sabonis, right? He's like, 0-11 or something crazy like that against Sabonis. So we can't be having things like that as we move forward. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What did you make of the defense? Do you think like, hey, they showed what they're capable of? They showed that they have the ability to do that? Or do you think that it was just kind of more of just like the mismatch, right? Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.